Good evening and welcome to news. I'm Salma Tajala. Coming up in tonight's edition of news, President Kurma launches a national employment policy strategy and implementation plan in Freetown. Former SLPP Labour Minister Alpha Timbo declares his intention to contest for the flag bearership of the Salone People's Party. Current Technical College turned its first batch of students after completing their various courses. And Koindu Association hands 2 classroom structures science laboratory to the Kisi Bendu Secondary School Authority. All the stories and more, including business and sports news, are lined up tonight. Welcome to news for our first story tonight. The KABALA Government Hospital has been capacitated with over 40 solar panels and solarized water wells for indigents of Yateya village in the Koinodogo district. Ochi della Speranza and Africa Mika from Italy, through the request of the former Minister of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, an indigent of Koinodogo district, Peter Boyukonte, provided the offer. Commissioned the solar panels already installed by engineers from Italy. Mr. Bayoko Conte says the support provided is to sustain electricity at the hospital, especially at night. Ibrahim Sumar has more.
A total of 48 solar panels are provided and installed by the Italian humanitarian groups Ochi della Speranza and Africa Miga for the KABALA Government Hospital. The groups also handed over solarized water well for the people of Yagala. These supports were made available through a request made by the former tourism minister Peter Bayogu Conte some 3 years ago from his friends in Italy. The solarization of the hospital is strategic because the KABALA Government Hospital, according to report, has been operating without sufficient electricity, especially at night. Peter Bayogu Conte says he approached his friends in Italy to support the health sector in the district and that the solar project is one of the biggest projects the Italians have supported the district. He adds that they have also helped the people of Koinodogo with medical equipment and free health services in surgery and dental operations. The team, he adds, is supporting the education sector by providing scholarships to children, women and young people, assuring his people of more support. The team from Ochi della Speranza and Africa Miga told the people of KABALA Town that the solar project for the hospital is to help reduce the infant and maternal mortality rate in the districts and to bring smiles to them. They said a similar project is being implemented in Zambia, admonished the beneficiaries to make good use of the support. They add that the solar project will help provide electricity to the hospital and will supply non-stop interrupted energy for years. The chairman of the Koinodogo District Council, Sheku Samuel Kamara, lauded his good friends from Italy for complementing the efforts of the government, saying that the solar project came at the most needed time. He catalogued a number of support the Italians have rendered to his people, ranging from education, health, and other social services. The matron of the KABALA Government Hospital, Frances Pierce, welcomed the solar project and says it will go a long way in carrying out their duties. She adds that the hospital has been operating without energy, saying versus the installation of the solar panel by the Italians, the hospital is now operating on a 24-hour basis with electricity. Matron Pierce said the Italians have earlier installed solar at the children's and women's wards, built dental units with free dental and surgical services.
Crown Technical College has graduated its first batch of students that have completed their various courses. The college was established around 3 years ago by a Sierra Leonean based in the United Kingdom, Dr. Andrew Curtis. Asmiuba has more.
Since the end of the war, Sierra Leone has witnessed upsurge in tertiary institutions, which have mainly shifted from the traditional system of education that is offered by the universities of Sierra Leone and Jala. Established by a Sierra Leonean academic, Dr. Andrew Curtis, the college has been offering courses in petroleum management, information and communication technology, business administration, human resource management, accounting and finance, and construction, amongst others. Crown College Sierra Leone is one of the centers of Pearson and Edexcel, which is based in London and is one of the respected institutions of higher learning in the United Kingdom. These sets of graduates have become the guinea pigs of this institution, and their graduation marks a new dawn in their lives as they have burnt the midnight candles for the past 3 years. Principal Crown Technical College, Samuel Powers, said Crown College is the first institution in Sierra Leone to deliver Pearson and Edexcel higher diploma and certificate in Sierra Leone. Mr. Powers informed his audience that Crown College caters for those who cannot go to the traditional institutions of higher learning but can be prepared for the job market.
As the proprietor, I, Dr. Andrew Curtis, has many years' experience working in the technological and educational sectors in the UK, and saw it necessary to open this college to the native country, Sierra Leone, to afford many young people who aspire to gain an internationally recognized qualification through vocational, technical, and academic pathway. Many developed countries such as the UK, Germany, and the US have such provisions in developing and strengthening the middle-level manpower skills of their young people.
According to Mr. Powers, Crown College has established relationships with industries for their graduates. Proprietor of Imat College, Amadou Ba, said private colleges have changed the old ways of learning in Sierra Leone. He called on the older institutions to embrace change. Director of Higher Education, Minister of Education, Science and Technology, Nabi Mohamed Kamara, called on the graduates to use their education to transform their lives. Mr. Kamara emphasizes the need for the restructuring of colleges to meet the growing challenge. Guest speaker, Deputy Minister of Energy, Osman Hansils, said Sierra Leone is facing serious educational challenge, but called on the people not to cry down the traditional institutions. Mr. Hansils informed his audience that the European Union will soon intervene in helping restructure the country's tech vote system.
You people are the real movers and shakers of our economy. Without you people, no economy can prosper. And on that note, let me highlight some key world surveys. For example, the Human Development Report, which has been published by the UNDP since 1990, the 25th edition, published last year, puts your country, my country, our country in a very precarious position. We are ranked out of 188 countries which are surveyed in that UNDP and Human Development Report for 2014-2015. Your country, my country, is ranked 181 over 188.
As they go home with their diplomas and certificates, the world will be waiting to receive them to compete with others who had come before them. Crown College is set to cater for those who will fill the middle-level manpower of the country. For SLBC News, Asmiuba.
The Koindu Association has handed over a newly constructed 2-classroom structure to be used as science laboratory with equipment to strengthen science education at the Kisibendu Secondary School. The handing over of the facility to the school was done at a ceremony attended by local authorities. Nasruddin Kurma reports.
Over the years, the Kisibendu Secondary School has been deprived.
The new building will increase landing space for the Kisi Bendu Secondary School, which is located on the Liberia Road in Koindu town. The school principal, Wando Bundo, said over the years, the Kisi Bendu Secondary School has been deprived of facilities that promote science education. Though the school has been trying in the arts and commercial areas, science has been a challenge. Students have to move some 34 miles to Salone to access science lab for practical exercises. He noted that the new structure has rescued the school. Abu Bakar Jallo is the leader of the Koindu Association and he lives in the United Kingdom. He called on students to see the facility as an opportunity which they should exploit for prosperity. In expressing gratitude to the Koindu Association for the development, community representatives called on other old students and friends of the school to give the requisite support to the Kisi Bendu Secondary School in order to promote secondary education in the border community. The Secretary General of the Koindu Association, Peter Clark, encouraged parents, teachers, and students to see the gesture as an opportunity that is key to opening other opportunities for the community. He encouraged the students in particular to make the best use of the lab. Peter Clark is a European national who served as a teacher in the school between 1981 and 1984. After the war, he has been so active working with other old students of the Kisi Bendu Secondary School in mobilizing support for the school. The coordinator of the Koindu Association in Sierra Leone, lawyer Ibrahim Monomapa, admonished the students to think beyond their locality. He told them that with determination and utmost seriousness, they can achieve their dreams and be like anyone they now admire. Commenting on the project and its objectivity, that is what lawyer Abba had to say.
Very impressed. They're very impressed that the Koindu Kisi Bendu Association UK initiated this venture, and we in Sierra Leone, my humble self, Ibrahim Monomaba, and Mr. Ibrahim Kibe and others put hands together, right? Not forgetting our community members like, example, Mr. Sasuluku, right, and others who helped tremendously to make sure that this program was a success. Our next aim is to get the assembly hall, which was destroyed by, forces here during the Rebel War. We want to get that back as soon as we can.
The Koindu border community on the Guinea and Liberia borders faces socio-economic challenges that serve as impediments to education. The town, situated in the Kisi 10 chiefdom in Salone district, before the decade-old war was a strategic commercial town that attracted businesses from Liberia, Guinea and Ivory Coast. Unfortunately, the war left a visible scar on the township. The town hasn't been able to attract serious investment since then. Things were even made worse by the Ebola outbreak, which made the lives of residents in the area miserable. So for the Koindu Association to come to their aid, local authorities in their various statements showed thanks and appreciation on the leadership.
Reverend Father Albert MENGON, commonly called Father Al, has celebrated his 50 years of priesthood service. 30 years ago, Father Al was sent to Sierra Leone by the Catholic Mission to serve as parish priest at the Holy Cross Parish in Lungi. Since his intervention in the Kafubolom and Lokomasama chiefdoms, he has established several primary and secondary schools and also served as principal of St. Augustine Agricultural Secondary School. I'll now bring you highlights of his 50 years celebration. We apologize for the lack of sound during that insert. President Kromah formally launched the National Employment Policy Strategy and Implementation Plan at the Mianta Conference Hall. This is part of event marking the May Day observation in Sierra Leone. Raza Bashkama sent us this report for News Hour.
The special advisor to the president and ambassador at large, Alhaji Alpha Kanu, who chaired the meeting, congratulated all for celebrating a peaceful May Day, being the first time the day is being observed and recognized as a public holiday in the country. He described the launching of the employment policy as a new page in the relationship between government and the Employers Federation. The Executive Secretary, Salone Employers Federation, Leslie Thomas, said on the 1st of May 1886, more than 300,000 workers in 13,000 businesses across the United States worked out of their jobs in support of the proclamation that 8 hours should constitute a legal day labor from and after 1st May 1886, adopted at the National Convention of the Federation of Organized Trade and Labor Unions in 1884. He pointed out that the demonstration culminated in a Haymarket affairs in Chicago with scuffle with the police in which 4 demonstrators were killed, but incidentally, the International Labour Organization Convention 1 on 1919 guaranteed 8 hours a day. Deliberating on the achievement made in Sierra Leone, Mr. Thomas said there has been considerable improvement in the working conditions of employees, adding that all of the 8 core conventions for employees have been adopted by the government over the years. The acting president, Sierra Leone Labour Congress, Janice Wright, thanked all workers for their support to the cause of the movement all these years. He expressed profound gratitude to His Excellency the President for declaring the 1st of May as one of the calendar public holidays in Sierra Leone and for consenting to grace the all-important occasion. Country Director, Sierra Leone German Technical Corporation, GIZ, Regional Office in Sierra Leone and Liberia, Marina Dahe, said the National Employment Policy, Strategy and Implementation Plan of the Government of Sierra Leone for the period 2015 to 2018 is supported by the German government. She said they remain committed to its implementation, looking back at the relationship between the two countries. She said governments and the people of Germany and Sierra Leone are enjoying a more than 50 years long cooperation which started in 1963, and that they have jointly carried out several projects in many sectors of the economy. Deliberating on the launching of the policy, Madam Daha pointed out that the policy is still on paper, but it is very important to ensure that it becomes a live document. The country director further revealed that the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, with support from the German government, will be spearheading the process. Giving an overview of the National Employment Policy, Strategy and Implementation Plan, the National Consultant Samuel Brimer said the plan is one effort of Ministry of Labour and Social Security to improve employment in Sierra Leone. He maintained that the policy recognizes that employment and labor market issues are practical and that there is a close link between labor and poverty reduction, and that the other strengths include the review of the labor laws and the Decent Work Contract program. Deliberating on the objective, Mr. Brahima stated that the goal of the National Policy, Strategy and Implementation Plan is to ensure rapid and sustainable employment growth consistent with the development priorities of the state, with a view to reducing poverty and promote sustainable development as expressed in the Agenda for Prosperity. The Minister of Labour and Social Security, Honorable Matthew Thimbo, pointed out that the realization of the twin activity lay in His Excellency the President and his government's unshakable commitment and conviction that labour and employment play an integral role in sustainable development growth path and the achievement of the goals of the Agenda for Prosperity and Sustainable Development Goals. He disclosed that on the 26th of January this year, Cabinet endorsed a request by the Ministry of Labour and Social Security to join the rest of the world in celebrating International Workers' Day, otherwise known as May Day, which is observed universally as an annual holiday to celebrate the achievement of workers.
The goal of the National Employment Policy is to create gainful and decent employment opportunities for the growing labor force, to improve living conditions and to contribute to the economic growth for national development within the framework of the decent work agenda. The National Employment Policy will address the critical productive challenges facing the country, such as the attainment of full and productive employment coupled with decent work and equitable economic growth. I am of the firm conviction that with such a robust mechanism in place, every effort will be made to achieve the aspirations of government so that within the shortest possible time, all able-bodied men and women who are qualified, willing and able and available to work will reap the benefits of their labor, improve their livelihoods, and contribute positively to the development of Mama Sierra Leone.
Formally launching the National Employment Policy Strategy, Implementation and Plan, President Nkrumah said the launch of the first blueprint for the Employment Management Plan in Sierra Leone demonstrates his government's commitment to job creation and also shows that government is aware of protecting the welfare of workers and at the same time protecting the interests of the employers. In that regard, he pointed out that everybody is protected in the documents. President Nkrumah made it clear that the action itself, it is to tell all that as a government they are taking labor issue very serious as it is their heritage, adding that as a party their roots are the Labour Congress. The president went on that they are all aware of the fact that the founding father of the APC, the late President Shaka Stephen, has his roots in the Labour Congress where he worked and served, and during his stay there he fought for the ordinary man and for the protection of the workers in Sierra Leone.
So we will carry on, and we will continue to carry on. That only means you will not get challenges. For the challenges that they will address, and so we carry on. And like how we carry on soon, need to reach at the last lap. If I told I don't need to forgive somebody else. So you see, today is a good day for me. We address all the issues and we will talk about them small. We will follow the movements them who will talk and address that issues. But for today, I want again to congratulate all the workers of this country. For sure, I say the government will continue for work and improve on the terms and conditions of service Huawei get 40,000 yesterday. I'm sure today not get them in terms of pensions. And tomorrow we will make them better than what we don't work on today. But with all this, we believe say we for launch this program, we can consolidate the gains and we will refocus for make we all now work in one direction. And that's this National Employment Policy Strategy and Implementation Plan. So now we honor for now launching with the hope that
That was President Nkrumah there launching the National Employment Policy Strategy and Implementation Plan as part of this year's International Labour Day. Meanwhile, the Overseas Employment Agency has called on government to lift the ban on the recruitment of Sierra Leoneans for overseas employment. The ban in 2004 follows a report of sexual slavery of women in Kuwait. This call was made at this year's International Labour Day. Mark Emmanuel Pratt is the Managing Director of the Overseas Employment Agency. He explained more in this interview with our own Princess Gibson.
This issue very sensitive, which we are aware of, but we do believe that what happened is not 100% as what the government is looking at, because the issue that happened, 30% is true and 70% is not true. This thing has been propaganda. The issue has been propaganda by the social media.
You are referring to the issue
that happened in Kuwait. Yes. So, as I am saying, the issue that happened in Kuwait, 30% is true and 70% is not true. That has happened in Kuwait. So, it is the social media that has propaganda this thing to this level that the government has taken such an action against the future of the youth of Sierra Leone.
One of the reasons for government placing a ban on overseas employment has to do with women are used as sexual slaves. So can you ensure the safety and security of women should in case government considers this issue?
Let me just give you a brief background on our own company and the recruitment that we have done that has not been of any danger to any Sierra Leone, and we have been in proper regulations with the Ministry of Labour and in good relationship and for the benefit for all Sierra Leone and in proper relation with the social welfare of Sierra Leoneans in Sierra Leone that has been working overseas. If I can go back to history, we have been recruiting since 2005 with government of Sierra Leone.